Waluigi number one.
Distractible.
Hello! You're all now not visible. Audible. Hi! Hello everybody. Hello Lake and Imu.
Audiobooks.
Audiobooks? What?
Audible. They do
That's
audiobooks.
Audible. You're now audible. Hi everybody, welcome to today's D&D session where nothing has been planned, but I'm still going to try and kill them anyway. Everybody say hello to our favorite dungeon master, Dude.
Hi, dude.
Dude comes with all the ideas.
He is the
all the
brains of that
solutions.
house.
He is the brains. No, I am your dungeon master, Davy Boy. And with us today we have the one, the only, the Isla. Say hi, Isla. You can speak again, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said hi.
Oh, I didn't hear you. It didn't come through. I
Hi,
thought you were role playing there. I was like, damn. And then we have the one, the graceful, the slightly chaotic, most likely to kill you in your sleep. Flicker, say hi, Flicker.
Hi, Flicker.
And then we have the one, the only, the very concerned regarding how everybody's going to survive, the Valdar. Say hi, Valdar.
Hi, Valda.
How are we all doing today? How are we feeling?
Excited.
So last
Still
session,
drawing breath, so let's play some D&D.
well, last session I believe that Isla lost her voice. You came
Yeah.
back from rescuing Regina. Feelings were a bit high, I believe.
Yes.
Everybody was feeling a bit heated. Everybody was worried about Regina.
Yeah.
Regina got a bit angry. And Lake went to visit Willow Whisper.
Mm-hmm.
You got an audience with the deity. How does Flicker feel about that?
Kind of like surprised, but also I think there was like a little bit of doubt in Flicker's mind that if Willow Whisper actually existed. So like now that's sort of cemented. Yeah.
Yeah. How is Valder feeling about everything at the moment? What's in Valder's brain?
Valda is highly suspicious of everything.
Yeah.
As always.
I kind of feel like maybe Valder's got some
Issues.
some trauma issues.
Valda
no,
was told if they leave the village, they die, and then she didn't die.
Oh, because you didn't see the arm, did you?
You didn't know.
Ah.
So like he's like, we've been lied to.
Ah, okay. And Isla, how is Isla feeling?
I think Isla is unendingly frustrated. I think that she wants to do the mission. She knows that needs to happen because there is obviously an imbalance. Like this isn't meant to be. Like islands don't float. That's not right. So she's like that. That's something needs to be done about that. And if it helps the people below, then great. But I think she's unendingly frustrated at the authority figures in her life.
Yeah, understandable.
And feeling like, and even with Eldar, he's feeling frustrated in terms of like he's very pushy with his beliefs, and I understand he comes from a different place, but you know this is these people's homes, this is what they believe, and the it's a bit pushy sometimes of him to be as he is.
Well, I would like to start this session. Obviously, last session you had just you had lost your voice. The elder had just approached you, and you could suddenly speak again. And I would like to start with you making a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yarp. A second.
Better get my dice. To do.
Hi, Sean. Welcome in.
That is a 13.
13. Okie dokie. Emily, Ayla, you're going to start hearing some voices
No.
in
Okay.
your head. You hear like a very deep voice. And it goes something kind of like this. I'd imagine like a complete like dark backdrop of me just being all dramatic, but I don't have the facilities, so you're just going to get like a shoddy shit voice actor here. She's lying to you, Ayla.
Oh.
Everything you have been told is a lie.
Do I get a sense of direction, or is it everywhere? Is it? Because if there's a sense of direction, I'll spin around to look.
It's not coming from. Give me an insight or an investigation check. And you see you can figure out where this is coming from.
17.
With a 17, it's as if the winds have carried this message to you.
Because that's usually
You-
how my mum talks to me. So that's a bit suspicious. I think she's going to shake that off. Of like, she's probably just feeling a little bit bitter right now, and she's like probably manifesting some shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah? No, that's
she's
absolutely
she's
great.
gonna like. I don't think she doesn't trust her mother. I think she's just angry at her. At least until there's further evidence. She's just like, okay, weird intrusive thought.
Okay, I know we've already started, but you want to pull some tarot cards?
Oh yes, let's do some. We forgot to do the tarot cards to see how the session's gonna go. You lovely, lovely lady. Yes, let's do the tarot reading.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
Major Arcana.
So I forgot this was a new thing. At the start of the sessions, Lake is going to pull. Are we still going for free tarot cards?
Yeah, we'll go through 3 tarot cards.
Free tarot cards.
All from the Major Arcana, because I think that's more fun.
And we're going to see how the session's going to go. So yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so our first one is the Inverted Judgment, which, if I can find it, is here. Reverse Judgment is the keywords for Reverse Judgment are self-doubt, inner critic, and ignoring the call.
What just happened, Emily? What
Yep.
did I just ignore?
Yeah.
I've got shivers. I'm not even lying. That is crazy. So hi everybody. For people that have just joined, Lake is currently pulling tarot cards to see how today's session is going to go. But just before that, Ayla just ignored a suspicious message she heard for the winds. So yeah, sorry, Lake, continue.
It's okay. I've just shuffling the cards again. Next one is the Reversed Star.
Ooh.
I don't
Not
have
the
any idea
reversed
what that does,
cowgirl.
actually. Interesting.
All my
The keywords for the Reversed Star are lack of faith, despair, self-trust, and disconnection.
That's Valdar. That's totally Valdar.
And then final card for the session. Half those. We pulled another reversed, the Reversed Hanged Man.
Hanged Man
Which-
in Phasmophobia means death, so I have no idea.
The Reversed Hangman means delays, resistance, stalling, and indecision.
Sounds like us as a group.
Yeah.
Why does this feel scarily accurate? Like
It always is. It's super
it's
spooky.
Tarot,
so-
man. It's tarot.
So scary. I think next session we need to pull out the cheese of truth.
Cheese of truth.
There we go. So, does somebody want to summarize that in like a quick like Is anybody good at summarising?
So, what did we have? We had
Ignore
reverse
Nicole.
judgment. Reverse judgment, which means like self-doubt. It means like giving into your inner critic. Means ignoring the call, as it were. So ignoring, anything that could be related to that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Then we had reverse star, which is about despair, lack of faith, loss of self-trust, disconnecting yourself from things, which I think also very much applies to some of the main characters that we are currently having, the issues that they're currently having. And then we got the reverse hangman, which is delays, resistance, stalling, indecision. Well, there's a lot of indecision and stalling, I think, and delays due to things that are happening in the campaign, and resistance is also quite a big thing for Valda, I think. Yeah.
He is a resistance bugger.
I think Valder believes solely that he is still having some sort of fever dream at the moment. But yeah, with the predictions done, let us quest onwards, my dude and dudettes. So Isla, you heard that voice. You've chosen to ignore it. Valder and Flicker, you're all in the mess hall in the Middle Temple. The elder has just come. He has glown a beautiful white light. Isla suddenly has her voice back as he twandles off to deal with his daily shenanigans. What is everybody doing now? You have you have had things asked upon you.
Yeah, we needed some resources, didn't we? Some medicine stuff. Needed to help with buildings.
What was the other one?
So the free quests that you have been given, the three things you've been asked by Lyra. She has asked if you can. That's not the page. She has asked if you can go and find a magical flower to help with the treatment of the injured townsfolks. You have spoken with Keelan, who has asked if anybody is able to help with the rebuild of some of the houses, and like make clearing the debris and making sure it's safe. And then you've also seen Lyra, who's running out of food. They're in short supplies, and she's asked for some help to gather some foraging. Out in the wilderness as they are unable to leave the village themselves.
So I don't know if we've heard about the mission, like the main mission, yet. But with those three as options, I'd say the food takes precedent. You need food before you can do any of that. You need to make sure
agree.
people are
Does each one need all three of us? Or would it make sense to like...
that's the question.
I think the hunting should be done by just one of us. Because if all three of us go, there's probably going to be less chance of finding things to hunt.
Absolutely. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, so anyone... Like, I would suggest Valdar, personally, just because you've got... Like, because you're dexterous, and you have your darts, you can probably, like, kill a few things with darts from afar. If I use magic, it's just going to, like, make everything in the area flee.
Unless you cast silence first.
I don't have silence, but I could do.
Well, unless anyone else has like really good survival or nature or something, then like...
I think I have pretty good both. No, I have pretty good survival there.
See, I was thinking you'd probably be best suited getting the medical herbs.
That would be my assumption.
Yeah.
Plus, you'll have more experience, I guess, technically hunting than I would because my people don't really eat meat.
This is true.
Which leaves Flicker with the rebuilding of things and removing of rubble, which, although Flicker is not strong, I think they have enough charisma they could coordinate people to do things.
There is that. Yeah, I can go for the medical.
Also, don't you have like a big half-orc form?
Yeah, but it doesn't carry over the strength, sadly. Like, all the stats stay the same. It doesn't matter what form I take.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you
That would
do
be
now have
very helpful.
advantage on all persuasion checks within the village.
That's true. I do.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna go get the medicine then.
So
Well,
Isla's going to set off and
yeah.
look for the medicine. Who would like to start then? Who
Roll
wants
a
to go
d4.
first?
Roll a d4.
Okay, so D4, 1 Emily, 2 Dan, 3 Blake, and 4 I get naked.
I
It's
hope
a
you're all
free.
4. Damn.
Who was free again? Was that Lake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lake, you're going to go and you want to help Keelan, is that correct?
Yep. The guy who I had an argument with. It's going to be great.
So you know that Keelan requires some assistance. Are you wanting to go and find Keelan?
Yeah, I'll go to the forge because that's where he is usually, right?
So you want to go to his workbench, yeah? You
Yeah.
walk over, and you see Keelan just kind of sat there looking a bit down in the dumps, a bit gruff and a bit sad.
I think I
He's
would
just
have
kinda
taken the
sat.
half-orc form though, just because it looks stronger.
Mhm.
More persuasive.
Yeah. Excuse me, Kaylin. Yes?
Hi, lassie. That's me. What
Wait,
can I
well,
do you for?
I
You're not about to
I
kill
have
another
come.
kobold prisoner, are you?
No, I maybe regret those things slightly, but we move forward, yes? And I am here to help you with the rebuilding effort, yes?
You see his eyes light up, like anime style, like little stars in his eyes, and there's a little gleam as he looks up at you, and he literally jumps to his feet. Aye, lass, I am. Aye, that'd be grand. What are you good for?
Well, I have a strong presence. Not so much a strength in arms, but I can maybe help you coordinate some people to help, is what I was thinking. If there are people.
Aye. There's people. That'd actually be a great help. So you're going to get me some extra hands?
Yes, I think that is where my strengths are best suited.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
How can I help? What can I do?
Well, I would suggest if you stay here, set out some tools, some guidelines for people. If you
Shall we
would be
make
like,
posters? I've got some paper and pen. Shall we make posters?
yeah, I mean that might actually be very useful. You could make some posters. And if you could also, you are used to working with construction and such. I think you would be best to serve as the master of construction, as it were. So, if possible, I will guide them to you, and you will tell them how to do things, to not hurt themselves, etc., etc. My job will be in convincing them to come here.
Master, you say? I can get on board with that. Aye. You. All right, like you do what you need to do. I'll start getting some stuff together, and we'll meet back here at 0400. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
He kind of takes a step back and he bows to you. It's like, thank you, milady.
Bow back, and then leave.
Your heads kind of bumped. Your heads kind of bumped
Yeah.
together in the middle as you both. Like, aye. Okay, right. I'll see you in a
Yeah,
bit.
my head is very strong in this form.
Right. So you trundle off. What would you like to do? What is your
Okay,
next?
my plan
protocol?
is to basically go to an area where there are a lot of people gathered, if there is such a place currently.
There will be the place where is it Lara? Lyra is currently
Yeah.
doing the food line. Hi,
Mhm.
Dinozaki.
Hi, Silver.
There's that would be probably where there's a lot of people waiting to get like food.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of go in there. I'm gonna take the form that I took before on the first night we got here, of like the little Fire Genasi bard, like the non-binary little bard. Who sort of will go in there and start like they'll jump up on a table like doing a flip somehow, and we'll say, "Hey everyone, it's me, Flameheart."
Roll me. I'm gonna actually give me a performance check.
Oh god, what did I do? Performance. This is a bad move. I should probably get my character sheet up, shouldn't I? Be an idea. Performance +5. Okay. Terrible. 11.
You get a couple people's attention, but not like a massive amount. You've got like the attention of like an elderly old man and like a young mother.
I see a couple of you looking at me, but not enough. Come on! And then I like weave some magic in my hands and shoot some firebolts out, and like some basic cantrips that just sort of throw around, like nothing that can harm anyone. I do some like minor illusion and like make like a sort of Chinese dragon fly through the air, and like do loads of like wild stuff that try and get everyone's attention.
Yeah, give me another performance check.
Why? I've rolled worse. It's only persuasion checks I get advantage on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then 10.
You get another couple of people like turn to your attention, but like everybody else is kind of like too hungry to like take note of you at the moment.
Okay, everyone. I know it's hard right now because, you know, you all need to fill your bellies. But I promise you, we got that on lock. We're gonna get you some food, and you're all gonna feel good. But right now, something else of import needs to be done. Everybody here needs somewhere safe to sleep.
When you say everything of importance, everybody just kind of goes, ooh. And when you say everybody needs to sleep, everybody kind of goes, ah.
And I am here to help with that effort. Now, our good friend Kaylin, our forge master, our construction master, needs our help. Everybody here and everybody in this... Sorry, I was just looking at the chat and I got distracted. And everybody needs to come together so that we can have a safe place to live and sleep. Now, who here has a strong body and a strong mind?
Give me a persuasion check. I'm gonna say, if you a 10 will get 2. The two of the people that you've caught their attention. A 15 will get 4, and a nat 20 will draw the attention of more people, or 20 plus.
Well, I rolled an 18 twice, so 18 plus 8 is 26, right?
Everybody around just starts clapping. Just
feeling
round of
like-
applause, everybody's cheering, and they're like, yeah, let's rebuild this place. And like everybody's like, so, and you get like a group of people, like, let's I'm gonna roll a d20. 20 people. 20 people
yeah.
volunteer their services.
I sort of like jump down from the table and like try and jump in front of everyone and like do like a bit of a flip as I land and like try
Give
and
an
land really
acrobatics
cool.
check.
Okay. Why? Why are my rolls bad? Let me say the last roll wasn't. That's a 5.
You land on your face and 5 people walk away.
Fair.
you just
Okay, but
hey
what-
guys, you try and do a flip, you trip as you jump off, you face plant into the mud, and like you hear some of the claps just die down, and some of like the people kind of say, "Who is this fool?" As they walk away.
And like
Like,
as I sort of
one
get
of the
up,
kids just like Nielsen from The Simpsons goes,
as I sort of get up, like my head sort of tilts up and like my hands like come up with like shadows that turn into like bright sparks as like an illusion of like a pink elephant appears and like starts leading the way. Okay, everybody, follow the elephant. We're just gonna follow the elephant.
while Pink Elephants on Parade's play in the background from Dumbo.
Mm-hmm. Yep, literally, that's what I was taking inspiration from.
Boom, 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 boom. Brilliant. Yeah, they all followed this weird pink elephant back to onwards to Keelan. As they approach Keelan, Keelan is in awe with the amount of people that you have assembled here. He's so grateful.
Okay, everyone, now the hard work starts. But it'll be worth it in the end because you'll have a lovely, nice bed to sleep on. Just listen to your construction master Keelan, and he'll give you everything you need. Over to you,
Keelan.
master.
I'm sorry, but Miska, Maska, tools. It's giving me guys. It's so
My brain
Oh.
kept waiting for that.
funny.
Keelan kind of takes the stage. And he, I, Lassie, he kind of looks at you confusion because you were an orc like 5 seconds ago. Aye, let's we need. I can't do this on my own. I'm one man now. I've laid down the workings of it all here in these, and he's laid out like bunch of like little like instructions with different tools and what they do. If you need any help, ask me. Don't just do it blindly. If we all work as a team, we'll all be living back to normal in no time. Okay? Let's get back on track. He's gonna do a performance check.
Did you hear that, Burks? Teamwork makes the dream work.
He's gonna get advantage with that. He rolled an 18. Everybody starts cheering and takes off on there. And starts rebuilding houses. Do you want to assist with the physical side
Yeah,
of it as well?
I'll assist. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm on the wall.
I'm gonna be like there more as an inspiring presence than I am actually doing any work.
We're gonna say there's
It's
maybe
making
like a
the former.
team doing like with the rebuild efforts, and there's a team with the cleanup efforts. Which team do you want to go to? Cleanup or rebuild?
Probably the cleanup because I don't think Flick is strong enough to do building.
As you walk over to the cleanup brigade, which is maybe about half of them, so we'll say like maybe 8, maybe 7 people are like starting to clean up like the burnt down houses. You get like this kind of like impending sense of dread overwhelmed with you as you realize like these were people's homes that were burnt down, burned to a cinders. As you look over now, this kind of barren land of just soot and poo. If you would like
Cobbled
to
poo everywhere.
cobbled poo, yeah, there's cobbled poo still littered everywhere. Do you want to give me a investigation check?
Sure. Terrible. 4.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
This is what it's always looked like.
Yeah,
I'll be like, okay, everyone, I know it looks bad in here, but after an hour or so, it'll be spick and span and livable once again.
Brilliant. I'm gonna say like with the people there, like if this continues on to like throughout the day, they get majority of the debris cleaned up into a pile, and they've managed to build like a couple of houses with the resources that they've gathered. I'm gonna say like by the end of this day, Keelan will come up to you. He'll put his hand around your shoulder and like kind of squeeze your shoulder and be like, "Hi, lass. That was mighty impressive. I'm forever in your debt. You've really took the load off my shoulders. If there's any way I can repay you, you just let me know."
Oh, I just did what I do naturally and insane, and then I try to do a cartwheel.
An acrobatics check. Are you Thingamby from Steven Universe?
This character is
Sardonyx
basically a clown. That's the vibe I'm going for,
okay.
or a children's TV presenter. Mixture of both.
Brilliant. Yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
7.
You try and do a cartwheel and you plant your face on the floor again. Give me a performance check to see if you can make it comical or if it looks like it was.
Okay. Why am I rolling so bad? 11.
Yeah, you don't recover from it, but Keelan starts like pissing himself with laughter, and you get like this kind of overwhelming sense of like you've made his day.
Yeah.
And he's like he's like hunched over, thigh slapping in laughter. And he kind of wipes away a tear and he says, "I have no laughed like that in a very long time, madam. Thank you from the bottom of my heart."
I did like a really overly like eloquent bow, and like my arms are everywhere, and I'm just like, of course, Flameheart is here to entertain. And then I'll go, but seriously, no problem. Get some rest. You'll need to get some more for work tomorrow, I'm sure.
You say get some rest, and he instantly face plants the floor and just falls asleep.
Oh. I'm gonna try and drag him into his workshop at least, so he can rest somewhere comfortable.
Give me a strength check
Sure.
and an insight check. I'll let you decide which one's what.
Well, the first one I rolled was strength because I already rolled it, and that'd be 13. Insight. Insight's 9.
Insight, yeah, you just know that he's really tired. But the
Yeah.
strength, I'm going to say with 13, you're able to drag Keelan back to his workshop.
And then I'll just be like, I like sing, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little worker, go to sleep.
Give me a performance
And then
check.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. 22. 23, sorry.
You see him smile as you sing him that lullaby. He's like a little, like his beak kind of like twirls up, and he starts getting like a reminiscent of like his mum. He starts sucking his feather down.
I love that. I mean, I like tuck him in and give him a little kiss on the forehead and then leave.
Oh, yeah, you do that. Brilliant. I'm gonna say by the time you've done all that, it's gonna get around to like late. It's gonna be like 8, 9 p.m. At the end of all that. And then is there anything else you want to do at this time?
No, I think Flicker's done.
Okay.
They are like out of energy now. They are gonna go and relax.
I'm gonna quickly go pee, and then we'll move on to Emily or Dan.
I'd like to apologise for that character, by the way. They are very loud and obnoxious for no reason at all.
It is giving Mickey Mouse though. That's the funniest thing.
Quick, everyone, listen closely and see if you can hear David peeing.
Shut up! Can you?
No.
Pee louder.
Dan has a piss fetish, confirmed. Brilliant. Do we have a preference on who wants to go next, whether it be Emily or Dan? Or do you want me to roll?
No.
I don't mind. Flip a coin.
I'm going to roll a d4. 1 to 2 will go Ayla. 2, 4, and 3 and 4 will go Valda. Show me potato salad. 2.
Okey-dokey. So was I given a location as to where these flowers are?
You know that they are off in like the woods on the edge of town.
Okay.
Because it is yourself that is going, give me a history check. A DC like 7 or 10.
History, yes?
Yes. Yes.
That's 14.
With 14, so the woods that you need to go to, you know of them. This is the woods where the dead are normally buried.
Yeah.
You know of the flower, the temple blossom. It's an ancient and sacred flower only found growing in the forest near the grave sites. It's said to guide lost souls to the afterlife, offering peace to those who have passed. Magic herb holds great power. Its seeds can be ground into a potent magical medicinal powder used by healers to treat various ailments and speed recovery.
Yeah.
And so it's in the kind of like in a forest area on the edge of town, where the dead are resting.
Yeah, well, if I know where I'm going, I'm gonna head off. I probably wouldn't be too apprehensive about visiting the local graveyard. feel like Isla probably hangs out at the local graveyard semi-regularly, you know?
she's out there
Nice.
listening to emo music.
I'm
Listening to
not
my
okay.
Chemical Romance while like tending to the things. Yeah, so you're just going to head over to the forest.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you enter the woods, a thick fog begins to roll in, enveloping the air in a dense mist that obscures your view. For you can still make out shapes nearby. The distance is shrouded in a ghastly haze. The air is filled with faint, mournful sounds that seem to be echoing moans of the departed. Yeah.
Do I sense this is foreboding, or is this just the regular ambiance here?
Give me a insight check. I want to
That's a
say.
dirty 20.
This is just like the ambiance. It's the ground here is like very connected to the dead and the spirits in this area. It's not
I'll take
it's
it
nothing like
as
bad.
I'll take it as the soundtrack of the graveyard, you know?
Yeah.
This is just what it sounds like, yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I'll unless I notice something out of place for this space that I'm semi-familiar with, like, I'm just going to be going towards where I know that it would grow.
Give me a nature check, please.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry?
4.
4. You do struggle to find it. You can't find it straight away. You're kind of the fog is too thick, and you can't really seem to find the area in which it grows. Is you do stumble across like a couple of like old graves, like dirt mounds and stuff. Which when you get close to, you can kind of hear more of like the mourns of like the deceased.
I would probably try and reorient myself to somewhere like that I was more familiar. I felt more familiar again in the graveyard. I wouldn't want to wander too far into the woods without knowing which way I'm going. So yeah, I think she would probably do a lap and try and reorient herself and like figure out where she is.
Give me a survival check this time to see if you can kind of figure out where you're going in this kind of like foggy woods.
22.
You kind of grab your bearings. You kind of get back to like maybe like. Do you want to go back to like where you started, or you want
It
to?
wouldn't necessarily have to be all the way back to where I started, but sort of a familiar spot where it's like, ah, yes, I know this.
I'm gonna say like if you get back to like close to like the entrance of the woods, you can kind of see the village again through the mists.
Yeah.
There. Anything else you want to try?
As I say, if I've kind of oriented myself, I would be going back out trying to find these plants.
Yeah, so you're gonna try and like head off in another direction. Give me another survival check.
14.
Sorry, survival or nature check. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'll stick
Whatever's-
with the 14 I've got there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with a 14, you kind of like get like your bearings back a bit in this misty forest, and you get an idea of like maybe some recently departed where the like recently departed are buried.
Yeah.
And you head like off into that direction to try and find to see if these flowers are growing.
Yeah.
As you approach maybe some of like the freshly graves, you do see some of these. I've got a picture here of what they look like as well.
So I'm not trying to tramp through the forest. I'm being respectful. You know, this is a graveyard. But I'm not tramping through the place. You know.
Give me a second while I insert a new slide because I don't want to give away any of my information. I'm just gonna put it on here. Oh, you don't have the stream up, do you? I'll put it on the thing as well. Invite. Screen share, screen capture, that one. So for the people at home, that is what the temple blossom looks like. And for let me share my screen. Can you see that?
Yard. Oh, very nice.
So that's growing out like some of the fresh graves there. Stop sharing now so I can go back to my information. That you see.
Yeah, if there's any around, I'll be picking them. As long as they're not poisonous, are they?
Give me a nature check.
And lick them and find out.
8.
You do not know if they're poisonous.
I'm going to assume that if they were poisonous, Alara would have said something about it. So I'm going to pick them. Yeah.
As you kind of bend down to try and attempt to pick one of these flowers up, you hear like a kind of like moaning in your ear.
I pause. I hesitate. And I stand back up again.
As you stand back up, do you take a step back or do you stay where you are?
I just stand back up again, just like taking in what I can hear.
As you stand back up, you see appear in front of you an ethereal, glowing figure, who is seemed like kind of like a blue light, like a translucent with like a kind of like long flowing robes, very humanoid size. They have like a very like a smooth face. There's not like their lips are quite small and like their eyes are like jet black. And like the robes are kind of like whooshed, like waving around as if it's
Is
like
it
in the wind, but there's
people
no
or is
wind.
it Aarakocra?
They do not have an Aarakocra form. But they have like a humanoid shape.
Yeah. Okay. What sense do I get from this spirit? Like, do I get a threatening sense or anything like that?
Give me an insight check.
$22.
This does not seem like it's inherently threatening. You get a sense that it's just protecting.
Okay. I kind of raise a hand and I'm like, "Hi, I don't mean to intrude. I can sense you're trying to protect this place."
The spirit's voice tickles your ear as if it's like a brushing breeze. She has like this. There's like this is the sound of like maybe like a small, like a young girl. I'm not going to be able to do it justice, but I'll try. Are you lost, my dear?
I'm not lost. I'm looking for these flowers. Some friends of mine need them.
These flowers help the dead find their way.
What do you mean?
They're guideposts to the afterlife for the recently departed.
I see. Would it be okay if I took one?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, okay. 13.
What purpose do you need these flowers for?
We have a lot of people who have been recently hurt in the town just down the way. They've we need more medicine for our people.
So your intentions are pure?
I believe so.
So you
I want to help my
wouldn't-
friends.
So you wouldn't mind if I took a peek within your mind?
Sure, I guess. I didn't get the sense that this was a threatening spirit. They just want to protect what they've got here. So I don't think that I'm feeling particularly threatened. It's more curiosity.
She places her finger gently upon your forehead and like a bright light kind of flashes upon you as she like scans through your mind. I want you to do two things for me now, Ayla.
Yeah.
I would like you to first of all make a wisdom saving throw, and then I would like you to
Yeah.
roll a persuasion check with advantage.
The wisdom saving was 8. And persuasion with advantage was that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got 19 on the persuasion.
So, as her finger is on your forehead, a track of lightning emits from where her finger is as she is blown back the way. And she turns to you and she says, "Oh, your intentions with the flower are pure, my dear, but heed my warning. Something dark lies within you. You have tremendous potential for evil. Be safe." And she giggles like a little girl, you know, like how like with like kind of echoes around the forest as she just kind of like disappears.
I kind
Um,
of stand there for a second. I'm like, can I take the flowers? Like, was that a yes or a no? When I can take the flowers?
Do you want to try and take the flowers?
I'm gonna bend down to them again and see if the moaning happens again.
You bend down, and the only thing you hear is the moaning from your knees cracking as old
Fucking
age
guys.
sets in.
Do I get the
Yeah.
sense I can take these flowers? Yeah.
If you can definitely try to take the flowers if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. My friends need help. They need medicine, so.
Yeah, you. How many flowers are you taking? Just one.
That's what I asked for. If I need to come back and potentially ask for more, I can do that in the future. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna take more than what I requested.
Yeah, you bend over. You take. You kneel down. You don't necessarily
That's a
bend
good way
over.
to
That's
do the
just
first
like.
one.
You take one of the flowers. You now have a tempest blossom.
Excellent. Well, I immediately start heading back. I'm like, cool vibes. Like, I know what my history is. I know what the something wicked this way comes situation is. Like, my mother made that very clear the other day.
Um,
But yeah, she's not trying to she's not stuck on that too much. She's like, I am who I am. It's got nothing to do with either of you two
Like the
deities.
Sailor Man?
So yeah, she's gonna head back with the flower. And if she happens to walk past the food post, I also have create food and water.
Brilliant. Do you want to give me a survival check to see if you can navigate your way out of the misty fog?
Yeah, absolutely.
Call it a DC 15.
I got a 25.
You navigate yourself out of the misty fog as you kind of like the closer you get to the town. Again, like the fog kind of like starts to like as if it's dissipating. Like you know when you come over a hill and yeah. And you get back to town. And you want to walk if you walk past you can walk past the food stall. You can see, you see Lyra there. Oh, hello, Isla. I'm trying to get her accent. She was a bit southern, wasn't she?
A little bit so. Yeah.
How? Oh, I can't do it. Can someone just remind me what Southern people sound like?
Fuck. What do Southern people sound like?
Well, hey there. I think I'll go. Well, hey there, Isla. How you doing?
I'm
It's
doing
best
great.
I
I've
can
just got, I just went and got the medicine, or at least a bit of medicine for the our other friend needs. You said you had food problems. I could give you some food. I completely it slipped my mind completely. I have magic that can do that for you. So, I can give you some medicine. I can food even. So with create where is it? Fucking create food war. I think it's only enough for 15 people, but I can cast it a few times. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
trying to find- there it is. So yeah, creates 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water on the ground, or in containers within range, enough to sustain 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. The food is bland but nourishing, and it spores if uneaten in 24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. How many spell slots are you going to use for it?
Well, it's a third. I think it's a third level spell. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's a third level spell, so I can use all my third level spell slots, and that would be enough for what 45 people.
Yeah. If you do that, this helps the rebuild efforts quite significantly.
Yeah, I do that. Because honestly, I don't really use my third level spells all that often. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, you create like abundance of like of berries, like the kind of stuff that
Yeah,
includes berries,
I
fruit,
think we'd go
vegetables.
around. I'd go around collecting like containers and like barrels and boxes.
Hmm.
So the food has to go. So it's not just
Wait,
on the floor.
Lyra kind of like gives you a big hug. Oh, thank you.
Like it's all
Um,
bland and like boring stuff. So like nobody's gonna die, but nobody's really living. You know.
Yeah. No, that's
Wouldn't
exactly
burn
what they
people.
need. And
Yeah, all
she's
that food
overwhelmed.
all that food will disappear in like, or at least go bad in 24 hours. I'd have to do it again tomorrow, so it's still important that Valdar goes and finds some food.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Yeah, you've got she's over the moon. She's like ecstatic. She's giving you a cuddle. She gives you like a peck on the cheek. She's like, "Oh,
Oh,
may the wind mother, may the wind mother guide us."
may she indeed.
Be nice if she would.
You're not here.
Um,
Shut up.
I take it you want to go to Lyra. Well, I gave them the
Yes.
same
Well, yeah. I
name.
need to take the medicine over. I forgot about that.
Lara. Lara, that's the one. Yeah. So you head over to Alara. She's still I think I've got their names muddled up, but it's fine. It's fine. She's tending to the wounded. She's like, you can see her like going around doing the rounds, checking people's bandages. She's like checking people's temperatures. She's like mixing up like herbs and stuff for like to like make lotions and potions. She's very busy. She's a very busy chicken.
I kind of go over with the flower in my palm. Like, I only got one. I can go back for more. There was a ghost who seemed a little bit iffy about me taking it. But here you go.
Oh, Isla. Oh, my dear. She puts her hands on your like cheeks. You have done more than enough for this village. How could I ever repay you? She takes the flower and you see her like kind of like popping out like the seeds from it from the
Yeah.
inside as she starts like grind them down. A spirit, you say?
Girl, I think.
It
Yeah.
wasn't perhaps Eldara, was it? The spirit of rest.
I mean, it may have been. I couldn't say for sure. It was a spirit. They wanted to protect the flowers. So
I figure sounds a bit like a wee girl. Kinda has a weird giggle about her.
I mean, it well could have been. I'm sure there's been lots of young people who have passed over the years. You know.
Oh no, dear, she's no a wee girl. She just sounds like a wee girl. She's the spirit of rest, guys. She sometimes guards. She sometimes makes sure that the rest get on their way.
Makes sense.
To
They
the
want me to
afterlife.
use the flowers for the spirits to find their way by. So.
Aye. I hope she didn't cause you any bother, my dear. She can be quite weary if you've never met her before. I would have went myself, but unfortunately, I wouldn't have thought she would have turned up. I thought that she's with all the death and destruction, she would have been very busy, but obviously not.
She was doing her job. If you need more, I can go back and get some. I just didn't want to a lot.
Oh, I like no. You see, the seeds of this flower are very potent. This one flower will be enough for the camp 3 times over.
Oh, brilliant!
Let me teach you how to use it if you want, my dear.
Yeah.
And she starts to demonstrate like
Awesome.
the process of
Absolutely.
grinding it down, adding liquid to turn it into like a medical paste, boiling some of it down to make like little potions, and like showing you like the concentration level. She gives you like a whole science class on how to use this seed. This medicine, this flower actually comes from your mother. Believe it or not,
Oh,
Isla, the Wind Mother.
Yeah.
She is the one that blesses the graves so that the people may find their way back to the afterlife. So you know, in a way, I guess this flower is related to you. As you see, like she takes the seeds out, she leaves one in, and she hands you back the flower. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you should hold on to this, my dear. Maybe it might strengthen your resolve in some way. I'm just a herbalist. I'm not getting involved in your family dramas.
Yeah, I pop it in my pocket, and I think I'm gonna like think about that for later, like something to do with this later. But no, if she's got what she needs, that's amazing. If there's any way I can help in the camp or community or here otherwise, that'd be great.
Would you like to help with the wounded, the rebuild, or the food?
We help with the wounded being a cleric and all.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Yep.
I'll say that as well. You can use your healing winds to kind of breeze through the winds and heal and like assist with like the healing that way. Like you can summon like
A 17 on medicine, and I will do magic and stuff as well if anyone needs
yeah.
it.
You start like I am like you go around maybe like saying a few prayers as like you this kind of like warming presence comes over you as you're visiting like the individually injured as your winds kind of like soothe the souls of everybody, and you can see people you can almost see them like recovering like 3 times as quickly.
Yeah.
Along with the like I'd say with the medicine check as well, like they will say that you go around and apply some of that medicine that you've been taught how to make,
Excellent.
which
I'm very happy
which
with that.
and say you do that onto the evening time as well as Flicker did. And is there anything you want to do as it gets into evening?
I think Isla would probably spend some time making some food, specifically for the elder. Just as like I know you helped out there with my mum, and like yeah, I'm a bit stroppy, but you know, thanks.
Do you want to go up and give him the food?
Yeah, I would be going up and like I've made him this food and like spent time on it and hand it over.
He as you approach him, he regards to Isla, my child, how are you doing this evening?
Very well, I think. Actually, we've helped people today. I got some medicine and I helped make some people feel better. So that's good.
And Isla, may I ask, how are you feeling? I kind of like punches his like where his heart is. Like, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling in the heart, my dear?
And she kind of sighs and like her head kind of drops a little bit. And yeah, she's feeling defeated, and she shares that. She's feeling that frustration, and she's reluctant to share that with him, I think, but does anyway. That she's feeling kind of doubtful and like a little bit angry at everything. And she knows it's silly because there's bigger things to be thinking about. But she still feels that way anyway.
He takes like a look at you, and he turns around and says, "Oh, he doesn't turn around. He's already looking at you." He says to you, Isla, your magic has a strong connection to your emotions. I just want you to remember that. But I do have a couple of things I do wish to discuss with you. If you would like to take your mind off the current situation and your feelings.
I mean, I think she's a little confused, but she goes, "Yeah, I can talk. Do you want me to bring my other guys, or
No.
is
There's
it
just
mission related?"
the one thing that I need to thank you is for rescuing my daughter, Regina. although she is going through a lot right now and requires some space, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. And you
There's no
see
need to
him.
thank me for that. She's my friend.
You see him like pull out this silver feather from his. Well, not pull out. He kind of plucks a silver feather from his like arm. I'm gonna say like he puts his wing out and he plucks out this silver feather and he hands it
Yeah.
over to you. This I bestow upon you, Isla, is the boon of the Whispering Winds. Imbued with the wind spirits themselves. This boon grants you the ability to harness the power of the winds, making your movement swift and your presence calming, like a gentle breeze. Once per long rest, Isla, you can now activate the boon of the Whispering Winds, which allows you to cast Wind Ball without using a spell slot. Additionally, for the next 10 minutes, your movement speeds increase by 10 feet, and any ally within 30 feet of you gains advantage on dexterity saving throws as long as they can hear.
Excellent. Is that something? Could you send me that somewhere?
Yeah, I can send
Excellent.
you that on
you
the
s-
FASA book.
Did you send me my boon, by the way? Because I've forgotten. I didn't remember whether I saved it or not.
I will send it again if I have, and if not, I will send you it now.
But I kind of like take the feather and I look at it, and I'm like, I think that I understand that this kind of a thing isn't like a small gift. This is relatively powerful and important. And I kind of bow my head again and kind of give him a thank you, knowing I've been a bit of a pain lately. But also like, your family, it happens.
And the other item I wish to discuss is I have found the next curse location, Isla.
Yes, yeah.
Deep within the mountains, he brings out his crystal ball and like he does his whole like it's glowing to kind of show you where it is. Deep within the mountains lies an abandoned village, once known to an ancient dwarven clan. It has now been imbued with the curse, and that is where you need to go. It's near the Cloudmirror. It's past the Cloudmirror Lake where you've once been. But I do believe this will be a hearty task, a challenge. I can't say what, but I've got a feeling there's going to be a challenge that you must overcome, my dear.
I mean, that's been the theme of every place we've been to.
Yes. I guess so. Well, what can you do? We're all gonna die. There's nothing we can really do about it.
Yeah, she takes note of like where it is so she can pass that information along later to the group.
Yeah. Yes, brilliant. Is there anything else you would like to discuss with myself, my child?
I would like to. Sorry, I thought I was talking to David for a second there. With the elder, no. I think she just wanted to kind of build bridges, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And I think other than that, she's probably going to look around for Regina. And if she's in the room, she'll just like go and sit with her. She's not going to necessarily bother her or badger or anything, but just sit nearby and be there. And if she's not there, then she's not going to go and like harass her.
I'm going to say that she's not in this room. You
That's
can try and go look for her if you want, but she's not in this temple.
Yeah, I would go and look for her in public places. I'm not going to try and go into her private space at this moment. If she wants to be out in the world, she'll be out in the world. If she's off in her room, she's off in her room, and she wants privacy, then that's fair.
Give me what would it be survival to try and track her if you want to see where she is?
I can give you a survival.
Yeah.
Oh, 7.
You can't. She's made no tracks for you to
Yeah,
follow.
fair enough.
You're
I
unable
think
to
I
find her
think
within the
with that
village.
then, yeah, I think with that she's probably gonna have whatever the dinner is, um, and kind of settle into the canteen, waiting for friends to to show up and like give them the lowdown on the day.
Yeah, I'll say that you and Flicker probably meet up in the canteen area. With that though, we will move over to Valdar.
Hi.
Hi, Valdar. What have you got in store for us to this evening?
Hopefully food.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna like head out of the village into like the immediate surrounding area and start looking for anything ranging from like small wildlife that can be hunted to like nuts and berries and shit.
So you're going to leave the village. How far are you going to go out of the village? Are you going to go like? Are you going to stay quite close? Or are you going to go like off like on a hunting day out?
I'm gonna start close, but if it becomes apparent that there is like fuck all near the village, like then work my way out until I find something.
Give me a survival check.
Net 20.
You have a survival check. You'll know that you need to go within that 20. You need to go like a bit further out the village than the confines because the animals won't be. If you're hunting animals specifically, they will not be near the village due to the amount of like people there is. You can go a bit further out for animals, but like maybe like just outside the village where the villagers won't necessarily go due to like the curse. There is some like foraging you can do for like berries and nuts and stuff like that.
Okay, I mean, these people are vegetarian as far as I'm aware.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put the focus into like the nuts and berries and shit.
Yeah, you're gonna go and gather up some resources from nuts and berries. With that 20, you do that. Let me just, as you are, give me a perception give me a perception check.
Net 20.
Within that 20, as you're gathering berries, you can see a Aarakocra flying what appears to be to the North Temple.
Outside the village.
No, the North Temple is still within the confines of the village.
Okay. Is it an Aarakocra that I recognize?
Yes.
Who is it?
It's Regina.
Isn't the North Temple the one that we went and pulled the little boy out of the bottom of?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Okay. Fine.
So I'm just telling you that's what you see. You just see Regina flying towards the North Temple at that time of day where you're out the village and you can kind of see the area around. You're the most likely person to be able to get a perception on that. You've not got like big tall buildings in your way and trees.
Well, I think I'm gonna, quick as I can, go and drop off like whatever berries and shit I've gathered so far.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, you still there because it's just gone very quiet. 2 seconds, guys. Um,
Probably make this out. Right.
hello?
Is that any better?
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
There
I
we
can hear
go.
you now. Sorry,
Yeah.
it
Sorry,
cut out for a second there.
Yeah, our camera decided to just disconnect itself for no reason under the sun.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, sorry. Do you want to give me another survival check to see how many, how much you can muster? We'll say, if you a 10 will be like enough for a day. 15 enough for a few days. 20 you got enough to for the entire week plus for some replanting and growing.
Oh, that was a 10.
You find enough resources to kind of feed everybody for a day. Brilliant. So you head back. You kind of drop off those resources. Lyra kind of looks at you a bit disappointed. That's all you've kind of managed to muster. She's like, "Oh, is that all? Is it? This
I
will
will
do
get
grand.
you more
Thank you."
later. I'll get you more later. There is more out there. I just need to go and deal with something. I've just seen Regina flying to the North Temple, so I'm going to go and see what that's about. And I take
Oh.
off towards the North Temple.
Lyra doesn't even get a chance to kind of question. You just fly off and follow the scent of Regina, Regina's wat. Sorry, and you arrive at the Northern Temple.
Oh, any sign of her?
You do not see her on the outskirts of the temple.
I'm gonna head towards the way we went in before then.
You walk up the very long staircase and you go to the top of this Northern Temple. Do you go inside the temple?
I would like to look inside before I just blindly walk in, but yes.
Give me a perception check and a dexterity saving throw.
That's why I want to look. That's a 10 on my perception check. And a nat 20 for 26 on my dex save.
I'll let you decide in or out the temple.
In?
As you like dodge this giant boulder coming slamming down towards you from like the crumbling of like the old temple, you jump inside the temple as it's now blocked off.
Shit.
With your 10 perception, you do not see anything from the confines of the temple. But as you are now locked in, your little mole kind of like pokes its nose out and kind of starts sniffing around, and he like crawls out your pocket and starts like moseying down.
That's it, boy. Find her. I start following my little mole.
Yeah, do you want to give me a perception check with advantage? Actually, is this... Yeah, with advantage, go for it.
Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. The best one of those two is a 10.
You still not quite sure where Regina is in this temple, but you're now in this temple where the thing's been cut off. You kind of get down to like where the hole is, where you saw the mole pig queen before. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Which way is my mole going?
He's kind of stopped at the hole.
Where did Regina go, boy? Find her.
He kind of sits up and looks at you.
Okay, fine. Get back in your pocket. Let me know if you smell
Crawls up your leg and slides into your little pocket. And like just has a snoot out of the pocket, just like kind of darting around in
Aw.
different directions, sniffing.
That's cute.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to do, Valdar?
I'm gonna go down the hole.
Yeah, you go down the hole. You do not have night vision, I believe. Dark vision.
No, I do not. So I will be
Uh,
lighting a torch.
Okie dokie. As you kind of like get further into the cave, give me a perception check.
Jokey, digging a pokey. Uh, 13.
With a 30, so you kind of see like some like moles, like kind of curled up, sleeping in the corner of the cave.
Weren't they meant to be leaving?
Oh, not all of them.
Okay. Just the big one.
Most of them have like dispersed a bit, but there's still some like sleeping around. And you can see like there's like big tunnels like where the queen has dug and like smaller tunnels all around.
Okay. Do I see any sign of Regina or any like trail that she's left?
Give me a perception check, and if you're using your mole, you can do it with advantage.
That's a 6 both times.
Your little mole can't seem to like get a scent on her. He's just kind of like like running around the circle, like different like holes, sniffing up, and he kind of like eventually like sits down and kind of.
Yeah, me neither, buddy.
He kind of does like a floppy head, like.
Guess we keep going and looking.
He kind of like rubs their head against your leg.
Just remember which way we came. Yeah, I'm gonna head deeper into the cave hole thing.
You gonna go like down like one of the burrows that the queen has dug?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Yeah, you as soon as like you start to like kind of like go down those tunnels, you kind of start feeling like some like the earth shaking a bit. Um, how deep are you going to go in?
I think I'm gonna be fairly like hesitant about it because I don't think I'm just gonna go rolling off down a tunnel like full kill, going like this is obviously the right way. Like, I think I'm slowly moving forwards, looking for like any signs that someone not mole has been through here.
What happens to birds that are down in holes?
Hens?
Canaries, is it?
That's to do with the CO2, though, is it not?
Yeah,
Don't they
canaries.
send canaries down to like?
That's to check for toxic gas leaks. Because the canary's smaller, it'll die first. So if your canary dies, that's the sign that you need to run.
Well, you really want to be out of there before the canary dies. You want to be out there when the canary stops singing.
Um,
Hashtag bird facts.
Val, do you start hearing some singing as you get deeper into the cave?
Oh, what kind of singing?
Like canary singing.
Well, as long as they're still singing.
Do you go towards the noise?
Sure, I've got no other marker to go on at this point.
Yeah, you go towards the noise. You keep going like down the cave the Mole Queen makes. The earth starts shaking even more the further you go in, and it kind of comes out into like this. You're quite far underground now, but it comes out into like this other kind of cavern. And it's kind of like an enclosed cavern, but it's filled with like blue like giant crystals and gemstones. And in there you see standing Regina.
Is she doing anything?
She is sat on the ground, legs crossed, and a kind of like meditating pose.
Hmm.
Your mole kind of pops out of the pocket and goes and points over to say, "I found Regina." And then he's like pulling on your feathers.
Yes, I see her. Well done. Yes, that's enough. Well done. Fine. Fine.
Starts eating whatever you gave it.
A small pebble.
A small pebble breaks all its teeth.
How useless mole is this that it doesn't know not to bite a pebble?
I'm going to pretend that didn't happen because otherwise that will have some very serious consequences. And yeah, so do you approach?
Attack.
Pardon?
He won't be able to do his 1 damage attack.
Do you want to feed the mole a pebble and see what happens?
No.
Because the Mole Queen would come and murder you if you hurt her babies.
I love the Mole Queen.
Do you approach Regina? How would you like to interact with her?
I'm gonna stay quiet for the moment and like try moving a bit closer.
She's gonna roll a perception check. Can you give me a stealth check, please?
I surely can do. That's a nat 1.
Oh, dude, your rolls.
You hear a voice. You hear Regina like kind of quickly cover up her tear, and she goes, "Stock much?"
Go to dangerous places much?
Is that any of your business much?
I mean, seeing as I'm here for the sole intent and purpose of saving the lives of every single person here, yes.
You think you're so special. Anybody could have been picked for this role. It just so happened to be you.
Okay, cool. But I am the one that was picked. So the selection process doesn't really matter at this point.
What do you want, Valdar? As she like kind of like chokes up at her tears and like tries to hold them back.
I want to know what you're doing.
I'm just out paying my respects to young Finnegan.
Okay. Why here?
Because Finnegan loved to explore and this was his favorite place to hang out. And I wanted to see what was in the caves that made him so interested in risking his life. Now, do you also want to know how big my shit was this morning?
Was it remarkable?
It was quite remarkable.
Well, that's interesting.
She's kind of like stood there, her hand on her hip, just like, like that kind of head tilt, and she's like tapping her foot like quite aggressively.
Father has had so little to do with anyone even remotely like her that all of that body language just goes straight over his head. Like he has no clue. So
Can I
it
can I
just
give you?
seems a bit risky to be coming all the way out here to a falling down temple that tried to crush me on the way in here, by the way. We're going to have to find another exit. That collapsed. To then go all the way down here into these caves. His grave's back at the village.
He's not been buried yet.
Well, then you could go and see him before he's
Or-
buried.
I could come and pay my respects in a way that I feel appropriate. What is wrong with you?
For real.
Quite a few things, I think, but that's not really the issue right
you
now.
could say that. Oh my god. Were you raised by... I don't even know what kind of creature would raise something like this.
Monks of the Way of Mercy?
Were you raised by sharks?
No, I was raised by monks on a mountain. There weren't many people around other than the other monks.
So you come from a mountain, yet you preach etiquette to me on how to be on a mountain. Well, not a mountain, but you know what I mean. Shut up.
I was just vaguely concerned that you might come out somewhere like this on your own and die. And that's
Well-
kind of the opposite of what I'm supposedly here to achieve.
That would be a highlight compared to this conversation, wouldn't it, Baldar? As she kind of spits through her teeth as she says that.
I don't know, maybe. Never tried it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. Have. Never stuck.
Yeah. Baldar, are you here to fight me? Do you want to taste my blade? Because you're pushing
I
all
assume it
the
was just
right
taste of metal, but
buttons. And you see like that kind of like her rage voice starts to come out.
I came here because I was concerned for your safety. If that
Well,
means you need to try and murder me, then I think you're the one who's struggling with social interactions.
Valder is crazy, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like he's so rude. Like questioning somebody's grieving process. Like he could just go see his body instead. Like that's not going to be traumatic.
Can you give me a wisdom? Is it wisdom saving throw?
15.
She tries to intimidate you, with her our raging voice, but she doesn't succeed.
You care for a lozenge?
What?
Would you care for a lozenge? Your throat, it sounds sore.
Valdar, I'd care if you would just back off and leave me alone.
Okay. Carlo takes like 2 steps back.
Why couldn't it have been the weird one? Why did I have to get the freak? And she starts like rubbing her temples like this. I don't. And she kind of like turns around, sits back on the ground, and huffs as she starts just bawling in tears.
Good breathing.
Do you do that to her back? And she sat there in tears, and Baldur is just like,
Good breathing.
Oh, she's just crying constantly. She's overwhelmed. What would Valder like to do now?
I'm just gonna like stand there for a minute and like let her cry for a bit because that seems cathartic. Um, and then when like the sobs have died down a bit, he's just gonna go, "Would you like to try some meditation techniques?"
She cries for like a solid 10 minutes.
Okay, he'd wait.
Um, as soon as you mention meditation, she kind of looks at you and she gets a bit angry again. It's like, I think I'd quite like to chop off your head, Valder.
You know, there is a meditation technique where you can visualize that so vividly that it may as well have actually happened as far as your memory's concerned.
How about we just make it happen, Valdar? She starts like gritting her beak. I don't know if you can grit your beak, but she starts like her beak bends in a way it shouldn't. Like, you know, like how like you kind of do that with your teeth. Like her
Bring
beak
Kermit
kind
the
of like
Frog
starts.
frowns.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would then be a very awkward conversation explaining that to Isla and the Elder, but
Give me a persuasion check.
where Evelyn? Why can I not see persuasion? Oh, this has got +0. Yay. 16.
You see her like you mentioned, like Ayla and the Elder kind of calms her down. She's got her hand on like her like axe that's like on in the ground, and she's like clenched, and you see like her kind of grip soften, and she kind of takes a big sigh. I'm gonna go speak to the scholar, and I'm gonna see if she can cast silence on you, because you need to shut the fuck up.
My offer of meditation techniques was
Nope.
quite genuine.
She just cuts you off. She's like, I'm not listening, and she's like, I'm you have ruined this experience for me. Oh, we're done. And she starts walking off back through the tunnels.
Okay. I'm going to wait for her to leave, and then once she's left, I would like to have a look around at this weird crystal-y room.
Yeah, give me a investigation check if you want to investigate crystals.
God, why do I keep investigating things? I have -1 to investigation.
Dude.
16.
Even.
With a 16, you find some blue crystals that are like shimmering. They're like all poking out the earth in like this cavern. And you see your mole is very attracted to it. He kind of like starts like walking over and starts like touching it.
Hmm. Hmm. Aside from the color,
Mhm.
do they look like the curse crystals that we see around the
Uh,
curse focal points?
nope. Different
Okay.
shape, different girth, different head.
In that case, I'm gonna go up and boop one.
Uh, okay, you're gonna boop a crystal. Give me a boop check.
A boop check. What kind of boop check would you like?
A check to boop the crystal.
An attacky boop check?
I don't know. I'm just stalling. um, yeah. So you go ahead and boop the crystal as you kind of touch the crystal. Give me a save and throw. I'm gonna go Constitution.
That's gonna go well. 11.
Okie dokie. You feel like the power of the earth kind of come up through the crystal and flow through into you. And you start turn to stone.
Oh no.
Hmm. That seems not great.
Mr. Walking
Like
into a room.
when I
with
say
a
like,
flag
so
over
the finger
him.
that you use to boop it starts turning to stone.
Okay.
Chop it off.
Before I try that, sorry, I'm just checking the wording of
Did
something.
Emily just say chop it off?
Yes, I did. I can wait for that. Cut it off. That's how you deal with zombies.
Mhm.
And sepsis. And all sorts of things.
Would this count as the paralyzed condition?
No.
Okay.
No, this is like transmutation.
It's
Uh,
like petrification.
So it's just your finger that has currently turned to stone. Your
Don't
booped
chop it
finger.
off.
I'm gonna try it anyway, and I'm gonna read out the pertinent bit, and David, you can decide if this is gonna work or not.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand of healing my finger because my hand of healing I have physician's touch. When you use hand of healing on a creature, you can also end one disease or one of the following conditions affecting it: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned.
Does nothing.
Okay, it was worth a try.
Is it spreading?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Does it seem to be spreading?
It stopped at your finger for the time being. How long do you want to wait to see if it spreads?
Like 5 seconds?
It's not started spreading again.
Okie dokie. I'm going to grab Digglesworth and
Finally
run.
named him. Yeah, you start running. You hear like earthquakes around as you are now running through the tunnel that you came from. As you are also running, you because you've got your light such, you are now being chased by the Mole Queen.
What
And you
is she
hear
after me?
and you hear a scream. Um, as she comes like barreling towards you.
Her babies? I haven't done anything to her babies. Look, the one she gave me is fine.
Are you just
As
going to
I'm
stand there?
running,
Is she? I was going to say,
no,
are you
as
going to
I'm
stand?
running, I'm going to hold Digglesworth up and go, look, he's fine. Like as I'm sprinting.
She just gave you. Oh, you hear babies! It's like she's tunneling towards you.
At any point, do I see like any little like side tunnels or anything, or is this just one long tunnel?
This goes back to like where you came, like the original like mole cave where you found them. There
Okay,
isn't
there's
really
no
like
like,
give me a perception check.
like any
Have
of
you
the
still got your
smaller
torch
moles
on?
like dug into it. I do still have a torch at the moment. Yes,
Okay, so it's not a disadvantage.
19.
You see like small holes that the small moles have made, but you wouldn't be able to fit through them.
Okay, I just keep sprinting as fast as I can then.
Yeah, you get back up to the cave for like the where you originally found the queen, and she like pops her head through like the hole, which I'm going to say is in the ground, and like she looks like a whack-a-mole as she comes up. She doesn't come up like all the way, and she kind of looks at you, and then she sees the light. She's like, "It's the light! Take away!"
I'm then going to remember that they really didn't like the torches and put my torch out.
Um, she can see you now. Oh, Batman, why you back?
Hello. an acquaintance of mine came down here, and I had come down to find out why and if they were okay.
I hear footsteps. I felt babies. Safe babies.
Hmm. There's some sleeping around here. They're fine.
Ah, she kind of like, if she could kind of like, she kind of leads her head back, like she puts her neck up. You can see her like, yes. And she slams her chin down, like rests it like on the entrance of the hole. Okay, you leave now.
Yes, I'm. If possible, I might need your help to get out. The entrance I came through collapsed as I came in, so I'm not quite sure how to get out.
Ah. Oh.
Could you maybe dig me a tunnel out?
A dig tunnel?
Yes,
Oh.
to the
Maybe.
surface.
She kind of looks up. Possibly. Hmm. Um. Give me a perception check.
17.
Your hand is now completely stone.
Hmm.
I try. And she kind of like digs down, and the earth starts like beginning to shake around this area as she tries to dig a tunnel out into the surface.
Whilst she's trying to dig a tunnel out, can I check on Digglesworth that, like, he's not turning to stone?
Yeah.
Did he touch it?
You look at Digglesworth. He's just like. He's like just in your pocket vibing. He is not
But he,
turning to
like, went
stone.
up and, like, licked one of those crystals.
We said
Mhm.
that didn't happen.
He did.
And that was me trying to feed him a stone.
Do you want to give me a check, a history check, or a arcana check, maybe?
Oh, my Arcana is garbage, but so is my history. Doesn't matter, they're both -1. That's 2 on the die for a 1.
You have no idea what's going on. You're oblivious.
Okay. But moles seem to be immune.
Digglesworth looks at your hand and he just starts licking it.
I was going to try and get him to lick it, so that's convenient. Does his saliva seem to do anything?
It makes it sticky.
Okay.
Like
But
the
not any
outside
less.
of your hand's sticky, but it does nothing to your hand.
Okay. Worth a try.
Regina kind of is like sat at the entrance, being like, "Well, you weren't kidding about this boulder. Bet you did this to trap me here. You
Well,
wanted alone time, Balder. You could have just asked. You didn't have to come and stalk me. My father will hear
all
about
fun and
this."
games. The Mole Queen is currently trying to dig us a way out.
Mole
Hopefully
Queen?
that happens quickly. Yes, the Mole Queen. Digglesworth's mum. And I like hold out Digglesworth.
Oh my God, he is just the cutest little patootie. She reaches, she like flaps down to like pinch his cheeks. Diggle like just happy for the attention.
Yes, this is Digglesworth, by the way. But yes, his mum is currently trying to dig us a way out. She said she'll try. I can't imagine why she wouldn't be able to, but who knows, mole stuff. Potentially a slightly more pressing issue, and I just hold up my stone hand.
Karma's a bitch. What did you do? Shake hands
I
with a
touched
golem?
one of the glowy rocks.
Oh. Well, that was a bit silly, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm seeing that now.
Yes. You know, curiosity killed the cat.
Well, Digglesworth was hanging off one licking it, so I didn't think touching it was going to do much.
She's going to investigate Digglesworth. She didn't know shit. She rolled a 7. It's like, it's a mole. It, like, lives in the earth. You're a bird. You live in the sky. Do you know what we get in the sky? Air pollution.
Okay, but I don't see what that's got to do with a glowing rock turning me to stone.
I wish it would turn your mouth to stone as she kind of like goes up to the
Well,
boulder and she starts
Give it
punching
an hour or two and it might.
the boulder.
This was
Um,
just my finger to start with. It's spreading, so give it an hour or so.
She's completely ignoring you. She's just punching at this boulder. You hear the Mole Queen kind of like hiss as she tries to reach the surface, but the light kind of burns her and she comes back down. And she's like, "No good. Owie."
Okay, but if the light was burning you, that means that you were damn close for the light to be getting through the soil, so I can take it from there.
I can punch the ceiling.
But if light was getting through, that's got to be like just the grass holding it up, man.
I try something else, maybe.
Sure, what do you have in mind?
You give me a hand.
This one?
She grabs your rocky hand as it kind of like glows. It goes from like rock to the crystal that you touched. It glows blue, and she kind of like absorbs it into her body. As she absorbs that kind of like the energy from the earth, you notice that she goes from like this mole. She turns like from this mole into like a young kind of like maiden, like brown robes, long long brown hair, and her eyes like a really deep kind of like dirt color, and like her skin is like almost the color of like quartz, and as she like and she regards to you, hello Valder.
I suddenly understand why you have so many children. Hello.
Fuck's sake.
I unfortunately can't be seen in the sun. I'm one to live in the earth, but the rocks have enough power to just maybe let me help you. I can only hold this form with that power for limited seconds, so unfortunately I can't speak. But I can do this. And she reaches out her hand and her eyes like turn black as the rock as like the earth like shakes quite violently. I'm gonna say to the point where like everybody in the village can feel it. And the rock that is like blocking the entrance just explodes. I imagine you look at the rock as it explodes.
Yeah, if a rock's exploding, I'm going to look at it.
Yeah, as soon as you turn, Regina's going to make a saving throw. Oh, she got nat
Yeah,
20.
Regina's
She
punching it.
yeah, she was punching it. So she thinks she did that. And as soon as you look back at the mole queen, at this beautiful longing spirit, she's suddenly a mole again.
Salda just bows to the Mole Queen and goes, "Thank you. By the way, Regina, Mole Queen, Regina."
Bad lady, you girlfriend?
No, acquaintance. She doesn't like me very much.
Your wife?
Mm.
You marry?
No, she wants to kill me.
Why?
Because I'm not very good at talking to people.
You talk to me? We go friends.
Yes, you make sense.
We marry.
I am actually a monk. I can't marry anyone.
I am Moon. Both begin with N.
moving in with them.
Yes. I can't marry anyone. I made a promise to a way of life.
Okay, goodbye. And she just digs away.
Bye
That's some
bye.
bullshit. You should have married the Mole Queen.
I'd have married that mom.
Same.
Regina just looks like shocked. Like she's like, you were gonna marry a mole?
I think I was quite emphatic that I was not.
She's gonna do an insight check on you. She completely believes that you were gonna marry that. You thought about marrying that mole?
For a second.
Baldur, this you are supposed to be here to save the world, not flirt and get your bit wet. You disgust me. As she like struts. Anyway,
That's
I
not
cleared the
you.
entrance while you did nothing but flirt, so I'm going. Bye.
Bye bye.
I love Regina's narrative. That's so
Yeah, me
hilarious.
too.
That's so real. Like Valda was so just like unfriendly, completely pushy, really awful, and she's just like built this narrative in her head that he's just an awful person now.
Yeah. Regina fucks off. You are now in this hole alone with your mole. You just
Hey.
sat in a dark room, your mole in your hand. What would you like to do?
I would like to go to the door and check that she is flying back towards the village.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
14.
Yeah, you see she's flying back to the Middle Temple. I'm going to say by the time all this has happened, it's probably around about 9 o'clock-ish, same time as like it's finished for everybody else. Are you wanting to go back to the meet up with everybody?
Yes, but can I keep an eye out for anything edible along the way?
Yeah, give me a survival check.
17.
Yeah, you keep your eye out for some edible. You find some edible mushrooms. Well, technically everything's edible. Just some things are only edible once. So take your pick. You find a lovely red mushroom with white spots on it. That's in the shape of a skull.
On the
You
subject of
find
mushrooms. Sorry, that I learned something the other day, which I think you will appreciate, David. There is 2 species of mushrooms that look almost identical. One of them is highly poisonous. The other one is absolutely fine to eat. The only way to tell the difference is that the perfectly fine to eat one smells of sperm.
Oh.
You don't know what sperm. Well, sperm to me kind of like has like a bleachy smell to it. So
Depends on the sperm.
yeah, some of them smell like rotten fruit. To be honest, so like it really depends. But yeah,
There's no way to know if mushrooms are safe.
well,
Continue. Sorry.
you find a red mushroom with white spots on it. That's possible. That could be eaten. You find some false widow spiders, some black widow spiders. They look like very tasty. To be
We
eaten
are
alive. You find some poison ivy. All this stuff is edible.
I was going to say, like, on Valdar's mission, has he actually found any food? Like, on
Yeah,
his
he found
hunting
about-
mission?
I
He
got a
found
day's
enough
worth
to feed a day.
of Regina playing silly buggers.
You find a mole in your pocket. That's edible.
She went to go grieve in a temple, not
She
play
climbed into a
buggers.
falling down death trap that we had to drag someone out of after they got trapped in there and almost died before.
Regina's a grown up.
Regina's a barbarian. She punched herself out of that cave. I don't know what you're talking about. And you
Yeah, that's
find
very
some you find some actual edible food as well. You find some apples, some pears, some pomegranates. You find some pumpkins because it's that time of year. It's getting to autumn. You find some carrots, some guavas. You find some milk trees where like bottles of milk grow on the trees. You
Nice.
find some root cola bottles. Yeah, you find
Damn.
another like 2 days worth of like provisions on your way back.
Veritable hoard.
I'm making sure to stock up on the milk bottles.
They're just
There's not enough teats to milk around this part.
Especially
Yeah.
with the bird population.
Well, they could regurgitate. Yeah, you head back. I imagine you give Lyra your supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, dear. She gives you a big kiss and a hug. And she's made you like a special kind of like stew just for yourself. She's like, don't tell anybody. But it's just for you. And she hands it over to you.
Elder kind of smiles awkwardly and goes, "Thank you," and then backs away, thinking that this is another crazy lady that's suddenly infatuated with him.
But definitely not someone who's just trying to thank you for helping feed their people. No, it's a crazy lady who wants your babies.
My
Elder's
babies.
growing up in a monastery. He doesn't know what to do with people kissing him.
Just because you're from a monastery doesn't mean that like people didn't show you love.
I would hope the old monks aren't showing Valdar the huggy, kissy kind of love.
Were you the only student there? Like, if there were more students, surely like a few of them in their teenage years were like fucking pubertied
Yeah.
up and being like, let's have some fun.
yeah.
Like,
I was dropped off as a
Mhm.
baby on their doorstep. It's not like it was a planned enrollment scheme.
Like
Yeah,
rubbing
but
their
like that happens in
calicos and
monasteries, they're communal places.
you would have seen a lot of bird butts in the shower. But yeah, what would you like to do now, Valdar? Your mission is complete.
I'm gonna take my stew and go and like head back to like the mess hall-y kind of area where people eat to
As
look
you're,
for
like,
my
kinda-
friends.
Heading back, you see like the kind of elder standing at the top of the middle temple, kind of beckoning to you to come towards him.
Weird. I'm gonna take off and fly in that direction because like I'm then using my hands to just keep my bowl of stew perfectly level.
You follow him inside as he's hobbling with his like little staff. Ah, Valda. May I have a word with you, sir?
Certainly. Do you have a spoon?
You see him pass you a spoon.
Excellent. I'm gonna start eating my stew whilst he talks.
Give me a perception check.
13.
Where he pulled that spoon from, you'll never know.
Not questioning it. I asked for a spoon was presented.
Because that's where people keep things in prison. Yeah, he Valdar. I haven't yet got a chance to thank you for the assistance in rescuing my daughter Regina. Although you did not need to, you all went out of your way, and I am forever grateful for that.
Okay.
I would like to bestow upon you this boon, and he hands you a pebble.
I've already got one of these, and I'd like to pull it out of my pocket from like 3 sessions ago when I found a very nice rock.
Ah, but this is a very special rock, my child. This rock, within it lies a boon. And Valder gets the boon of unyielding earth. The elder presents Valder with a shard of a mountain itself, symbolizing unwavering strength, resilience of stone. This boon fortifies Valder's connection to earth, making him immovable in times of need. Once per long rest, Baldur can activate the boon of Unyielding Earth to gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical sources for 1 minute. Additionally, while the boon is active, he cannot be knocked prone or get moved against his will.
Send you this in the group chat.
Yeah.
Did you know? Yeah, he hands you the stone, and you kind of feel like a sense come over you, like an unmovable force, almost like a kind of like a force field, kind of like comes over your entire body, and you feel like very strong, very, very, very strong.
The first thing I do before I can forget which is in which hand is throw away the previous rock I have.
Is what?
The very nice rock that I'd found before. Before I can forget which is in which hand, I throw the very nice rock from before away.
The elder's going to try and catch it. He misses.
Okay. Cool. I just didn't want to be able to like accidentally pull out the wrong rock. Like now I just have a magical rock.
Nice. That's definitely not going to come back to bite you in the butt, what you just did.
It all comes back around though. You found a rock earlier, now you have a magical rock.
Yeah, but now I'm going to, every time Valder sees a rock, he's going to have to make a wisdom saving throw to see if he's going to replace the rock he's got. So
Might be more magical. The rocks here
Like-
are magical. There might be more magical rocks.
That's true.
the elder kind of bows his head and says, "Thank you again, my child. Although we cannot change you, we do hope that you may come to learn to be a bit more empathetic towards people. But you are who you are. May you enjoy the rest of your evening. Isla may be able to advise you on the next cursed location if you speak to her."
If she's been told, I would hope so. Well, thank you for the boon. And here is your spoon.
Give me a perception check.
To perceive that that was a rhyme.
No, to see where the elder puts the spoon.
16.
You don't know where he puts the spoon.
Excellent. I don't want to know at this point.
Maybe,
I want it to be a mystery.
maybe if you know, more magic will happen. But yeah, with that, you make your leave. You head back into the mess hall, and you see your friends.
I'm going to go over and sit down with them and pick up a spoon off the table and continue eating my stew.
Nice stew.
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Have any luck with the food?
Got about 4 days worth total.
Brilliant. Brilliant stuff.
As I understand it, they have enough for the next 24 hours anyway, so the village should be good to eat for the next 5 days.
Excellent stuff. And Flicker, what have you been up to?
Well, I've just been rallying the people, rallying the troops, as it were. We got a lot of like builders and cleaners now. They're helping out Kaylin.
Oh, brilliant. That's so good to hear.
Excellent stuff.
I can get a general sense of everyone feeling quite accomplished in the cafeteria and spirits are high, that kind of thing.
And what about you, Isla? Did you get the thing?
Yes, I got the medicine. I've got. They gave me an extra seed. I get the seed out, and I'm like, this thing.
Hey, it's a magic rock.
Nice.
Yeah, it's magic.
But yeah, I got the medicine. I spoke to. What do they call her? Some ghost. That protects the way for other ghosts. It's a spirit. Something. Not very good at remembering these things. But they let me take a flower, and they're very powerful. I was given this one to do something with. Apparently, would help me feel more. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But that sounds like we've all had very productive days. Quite happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, whilst I was out looking for food, Regina went to the North Temple. The one that was all falling down and
The people
death
go to
trap.
North Temple. It's called.
Yes,
They
but
said this.
it's more falling down now than it used to be.
I mean, well, yes.
So I went to check that she was okay, and she was all the way down in the Mole Queen's caves, and there was a bunch of glowy crystals, not the nasty crystals from the curse thing. These ones were blue.
I would hope they're not the same. Yes.
This was my concern first, but they were blue, so I know they're different. But yes, we had a nice little conversation. Then I made the mistake of touching one of the glowy rocks, and my hand turned to stone.
Sorry, you had a nice conversation with Regina.
Oh. She didn't kill
Um,
me, so yes.
Isla
Valder,
kind of
give
puts
me-
her hand to her head and is just like, oh.
Valder, give me a persuasion check because I believe Valder believes that they are not deceiving because they believe it was a pleasant conversation. And Isla, give me an insight check.
You have to be an 18.
That's not what I said.
And I've got +0 on persuasion. That's just 18 on the die.
No, it's 9.
You believe that Valder had an actual pleasant encounter with Regina.
Okay.
But yes, then I convinced her to leave after a while because it didn't seem a safe place to be. And then once she left, I touched one of the rocks because Digglesworth was licking it. So I wondered, what's that all about? So I went and touched it, and then my hand started turning to stone. And then we left, and the Mole Queen turned up. She fixed my hand for me
Okay.
and blew up a boulder
Oh,
so we could get out.
good.
Yes, I think that's everything.
You need to stop touching things, I think.
Digglesworth was licking it. I thought it would be fine. I thought maybe it tasted nice.
As
You were
you're
gonna-
telling the story, Digglesworth is like poking out of your pocket, going.
And I looked Alden in the eyes and I'm like, you were going to eat a rock.
What did
Oh,
you say
well,
that to Digglesworth?
Yes, to the Digglesworth. See?
I suppose so.
Give me an animal handling check with disadvantage. See if you can understand him.
Well, to be fair to Valder, some rocks do look pretty tasty.
I got an 8 both times, so.
You don't know what he's saying. Does Flicker want to try and see if they can deduce what the mole's saying?
Sure, I'll probably be even worse, but I'll have a go. With disadvantage, did you say?
Yeah, unless you have speak with animals.
No, I don't. I rolled a 2.
Nobody knows what Digglesworth is saying.
No.
Unless Valder, you make a roll. It's your mole, after all. Roll for your mole.
18.
Okay, you've got a feeling that Digglesworth is saying, I see a big glowy stone. I am brought to stone. I touch stone. I get power from stone. I distribute power through land.
So I don't explain any of that to either of you. I just assume that you understand it as well as I
Fair
do.
enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
See?
Digglesworth is just going,
So I thought maybe it was a good idea.
The Digglesworth is going,
Hello?
We can't understand him.
Oh, okay. He was saying that the moles, they take power from the crystals to then distribute through the land.
Did you know that at the time, or is that just something you're finding out now?
It's something I'm finding out now, but seeing as the mole was licking the rock, I didn't think touching it with a finger was going to do much.
There's multiple things that are problems here, specifically Regina around the place. Like, that's normal behavior to do.
She was flying off on her own to a dangerous place.
Nobody really considers that place dangerous.
the mole is like
Maybe
backing up
they
Valder,
bloody
but the
well
mole's
should.
like got their hands on their hips going, me, me, me. After every time Baldur makes a point, just backing up Baldur. Me, me, me.
I kind of,
Giving me the help action.
I shake it. I try to shake it off, and I'm like, well, it sounds like we've had good days. I know where the next part of the curse is.
Yes, the elder mentioned when he
Yes.
gave me the magic rock.
Yes, it's in the mountains.
Ah,
The elder mentioned it's going to be a challenge. I assumed that, considering it's all been a bit of a challenge. But what is world-saving missions without a little bit of challenge?
When you say it's in the mountains, the mole just starts going, me, 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 me,
I love this world.
Me too.
Like
I can't
for,
wait to-
for
I
all the
can't wait to
social
kill it and make
graces
everybody
Valdar
sad.
lacks, for all the social graces Valdar lacks, this mole is making up for it.
Literally.
Gigglefluff is my bro.
So anyway, enough about the curse. What about the Mole Queen? How is she doing?
How is the mole queen?
Oh, yes, she's doing okay. It's because she heard us going down in the cave. She thought someone was after her babies again.
I mean, yes, that makes sense.
Did you know she can turn into a person?
She's a god, and gods can take many forms. So it's not something that is outside the realm of possibility in my mind.
Well, she took I assume the power that had transferred to me from the crystal, which was then turning my hand to rock because of the power of the earth, blah, 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 blah. She then took that from my hands, hence why I'm not now made of stone and dead.
Good.
But she then used that power to turn herself humanoid and make a boulder explode.
Oh, wonderful. Very powerful. Very good to hear. She's doing well then.
She then turned back into a mole and asked me to marry her.
Oh my god, did you say yes?
No,
What? Why?
I'm
The
a
little
monk.
mole, Digglesworth is just kind of sat in your pocket going, me, me. Oh, how does it go again? Yeah, that's it. He's just doing, me, 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 me.
I looked at Bigglesworth and I'm like, you wanted a new stepdaddy. That's hilarious.
Wait, does being a monk really mean you just can't get married?
For my order, yeah. I'm not translating that one. But no, my life is pledged to the order, not to frivolous things like marriage. Besides, she's a mole queen who lives underground, and I am a bird.
She's a
Up
goddess.
at the tract.
You should be more respectful.
I don't say it as a matter of disrespect. I just say that doesn't seem like a relationship that's going to work out.
I mean,
The sun burns her.
she's a goddess. I think that like the privilege, speaks for itself.
You
Maybe
really
she
fucked
could-
up on that one, Valda.
Maybe she could have dug you a tunnel big enough to fly around in. Like,
Mm.
And never see the sun again.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Gods live for a very, very, very long time. Bird people, not so much. It was always going to be a short relationship for her. Do you know what I mean?
That's so confusing. Ella.
That's a good point.
oh, Emily. I gave you a point of inspiration for that.
Thank you. I
Just
don't know
that
what inspiration
acknowledgement.
is used for.
It lets you reroll.
Oh, cool. Nice. Awesome. I have inspiration now. Fun.
I like how I
That's
just like
really
if
cool.
something's
Great.
funny, I literally just give out inspiration for making me laugh. That's it. Like if you make me laugh, you get inspiration. That's how it works.
The little like grey sun at the bottom.
Um,
And it just like turns it red to mark that you have inspiration. Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
I'm going
So-
to say now as well, with all the people that you've helped, Slicker, you helped Keelan. You and Keelan now have like a pretty like Keelan. You and Keelan have like a really good relationship. You could probably call on Keelan if you ever like needed his assistance with something. And the same goes
Nice.
with you two and your two counterparts. Apart from maybe Dan with disadvantage due to his poor charisma. Maybe I don't know. We'll just I'll decide at the time. But you all like have like a favor of these people if you ever need to use it.
Yeah.
I feel like in a pinch, I always have the ability to summon the Mole Queen. If I could just like threaten Diggle with a knife.
Dude, that's
Do
not
that.
smart.
That's so
Yeah.
fucked up.
Do you want to
But
try
it
it?
would summon the Mole Queen.
Such a bad
Do you-
idea, dude.
Do you want to act out what would happen if you did that? Like this doesn't actually happen, but do you want to act out what happens?
I'm assuming she turns up and kills us all.
Like try it. Like unofficially, this doesn't actually happen. But if you want to say like as a I want to see what
Invalid
happens.
imagination.
You feel the earth shake violently, and the earth begins to crack as blue light shines from beneath. As all this like energy from the ground kind of like swirls around, you can kind of see it like flashing as if it's like vortexing into, and the Mole Queen absorbs all of it as she turns into a ginormous. I'm gonna say like maybe like almost half the size of the island, like a ginormous land shark, and she swallows you whole.
Land shark, I love that.
Oh,
Like giant
Bullet.
jaws just come, like giant jaws, like maybe like a centipede or something that kind of like comes up from the ground, and she just
Underworm
eats you
energy.
alive.
I'm here for it.
so if I'm ever in a situation where we are absolutely fucked and I'm about to die anyway, that's the nuclear option.
Maybe one of your
It
party
will
members
kill
has a nuclear
everyone
option.
in like a 50-foot radius.
Maybe one of your party members has a nuclear option that they haven't shared with you.
Yeah, I have
but
another
nuclear
resolve inside me.
involves land sharks.
That was just an example of something that would happen. Maybe it's a giant worm. She turns into something and she kills you. And whatever she turns into has like 5 million HP, so you can't kill her. And her damage is like 1d100 plus 100. Do you know why? Because I'm the DM. That's
Brilliant.
why.
I'm here for it.
And you ain't fucking with my Mole Queen. Nah, I'm joking. If you
We
decided to
love
like
the
fight
Mole
her,
I would never
And
hurt the
don't-
Mole Queen. She's precious.
Digglesworth might still die.
Queen.
So long as I'm not the one responsible for it, fine.
Nah. Is there anything else you want to do this evening? Any more conversation to be had?
We've talked about where the next part of the curse is. I've apologized to the elder. We did all the tasks. I'm good to sleep, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Just to confirm, are we heading off to the next cursed place in the morning?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Do we know whereabouts we're going, or is it a generalized idea of where we're going, or
It's
is
in the
there
mountains. You need to go through the mountains to get to the dwarven village.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dwarven Village
Dwarven
Mountains.
village,
Yeah.
other side of mountains.
Yeah.
Did he mention it
yeah,
was
we-
to do with dwarves? Because that's kind of weird.
How long a journey is it to get there?
To get to the mountains, it's just next to the lake, so about a day to get to like the lake, and then you've got to traverse through the mountains. And depending on weather, that could change. Could be one day. Could be. Oh well, apparently Valder can fly over Mount Everest in like 30 seconds, so it could be fine for him. He could get there, but that depends if he wants to take on a three-headed dragon again on his own. So
I think yeah, we would probably head off the next day. I'd probably get up early and like some, rations. Well, I can create food and water. What am I talking about? I'm good.
Brilliant. So you all kind of like go to bed for the night. Valdar, you curl up in the with the rebuild of the house. You now have your own hut while you're here. In it is filled with very simple necessities. You've just got like a nice little bedspread. You've got a nice little altar to like whatever your to put like things like from your monastery in. Something like homely. There's like a little like water feature as well to help calm you and ground you, and like a little bamboo yoga mat. Flicker, yours is completely black. It's got blackout windows. Completely shrouded in shadows.
That's a good
There's
vibe.
like a bed. There's a bed for you, but there's not much in the sense of furniture. In there,
Cool.
it's just like a shadowy abyss that nobody can see in or out of. And Isla, you already
Yeah.
have your house, which is decorated
Yeah.
however you want. Your house survived.
Good vibes.
When you go to bed that night, Valder, you have some dreams. Do you want to know what you dream of?
Yes, but I would just like to say when I go to bed on my little like bedroll thing, instead of like a pillow, Digglesworth is my pillow.
Oh.
Cute.
That is brilliant. So as you sleep that night, you have some violent nightmares of Regina murdering you in your sleep. And then
Sounds about right.
the Mole Queen eating your corpse. Flicker, as you go to sleep that night, you have some dreams of being hoisted up by the village of Cloudcroft and ascended as a hero for your mighty performance in rallying the town. You are cheered upon and loved, and like you're showered in flowers, and you are in your dream. You are in like all forms at the same time, almost kind of like a Legion from Red Dwarf, which Dan should get the reference of, but maybe not everybody else. Like all your forms are kind of fused into one.
Cool.
Isla.
Knock out all but one of them.
Isla. Your dreams that night. I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw again.
Yeah, let me just put my phone back on. 25.
Brilliant. You rather than just hear some voices, you get a very clear idea of what is going on in your dream, and you are like as if like the times you've met your mother, you are now appearing in like this kind of like white. Do you know like if they has they show like kind of Afterlife in like TV programs? It's just like a white open space.
Yeah.
You're kind of in there, and stood in front of you is like the manifestation of a violent storm. And it's like wind, but it's not like clear wind and like pure wind like your mum. It's like very the wind here, the storm is green.
Oh.
Like the color like someone would draw for wind. But it's a very green, but it's like a raging storm in front of you.
So I'm not hearing any whispers.
Not at the moment, no.
I'm not afraid of wind. I'm gonna head towards it. I'm gonna be cautious of the green stuff. It might be poisonous.
Yeah, so the green stuff is the wind. The wind is just the color green.
Okay. I think I'd still be a bit cautious of it because, like, obviously, I don't know what, like, because obviously, wind does not look like that, like in real life. Like, it might be magical or something, or it might be toxic or
Something like fire, you know.
something like that.
Yeah, you approach the wind. Do you
Yeah.
do you say anything? Do you do anything?
Just
Do you
want to
touch
observe,
it?
like, I want to observe. I want to be curious. Do I have any kind of feeling like about like do I have any kind of sense of like dread or like good or bad either way?
You don't get any because you passed on your wisdom saving throw. You don't really get like any sense of like fear or like dread or doom from it per se. If you want to see like if you want to check, you'll need to roll for like a to get like a true sense of like a kind of feeling. Maybe I'm going to say an insight check on it.
I'll do that. It's a 16.
You get a feeling of a force of nature.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be like harmful to you per se. It's not like being threatening towards you. But you do. It's a presence.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna reach forward. I'm gonna like ready my stance a little bit to kind of be able to propel, like throw myself away from it if I need to. But I
Yeah.
am gonna reach out, which is like a couple fingers, just like the edge of the breeze.
Yeah, as soon as you reach out to touch the breeze, the wind crawls up your hands, like it's racing all the way up your hands, and it goes in and up through into your ears and your nostrils and your mouth, as your eyes now are glowing green, and you're now like floating off the ground slightly, as this wind completely enters your body, and the wind is no more.
I mean, wind doesn't, again, like I don't think wind is innately scary to Isla, because like, you know, her mother is a wind goddess. She's an Air Genasi, like, you know, the wind's not unnatural to her. Does she have a sense of anything new about herself?
Isla feels very angry.
I mean, that's tracks for the last few days, so I don't know if that's anything.
You start to get notions of like everything that's happened to Isla at this moment is unfair. Isla's starting to feel like that maybe Cloudcroft doesn't deserve Isla. And a little part of your brain, like you hear like a voice as if it's your voice going like if I'm not being treated right, maybe they need to pay.
Ooh. And is that the dream then? Is that the dream over?
Yeah, as that happens, your eyes go your glow green. After that, you wake up from your nightmare, huffing and puffing.
Yeah, I'll probably kind of like sit up and kind of like look around and take everything in and try to kind of center myself a little bit. I don't like feeling unsettled and like unbalanced like that.
In your hand, Isla, as you wake up, you see the remains of a crushed field mouse.
Oh.
That you killed in your sleep.
I mean, field mice are tricksy little buggers. Like, it's an impressive feat if nothing else. I dropped the mouse immediately.
Yeah, you're so. A little voice in your head goes, "Fucking deserved that."
I think Isla immediately shakes that off and is like, "Field mouse didn't this what?" Like, do you know when you have one of those intrusive thoughts where you're just like, "What the fuck?" And you just kind of like, absolutely not.
You try and shrug that off, but like it's very present. Like that you keep shrugging it off when it comes in, but it reappears in your head. Like
yeah, no, absolutely. It's for sure going to be affecting her mood in general. She's going to be grumpy.
And I'm going to send you a separate DM in regards to what's going on, as it will affect Isla and her storyline going forward. But
I think at this point it's Isla going like, I've just been angry about stuff. I think that Isla's going to be like, she's not going to necessarily think that there's anything spooky extra going on, which obviously like yeah there is, but like I think Isla's in her mindset, she's just like, I'm just angry, and that's coming out in weird dreams and stuff. She would try and like shrug it off and be like casual about it, like, oh, it's fine.
And with that, unless anybody else wants to do anything, we're going to end the session there, and then next session we'll be heading off to the mountains. So with that, with the end of the session, I'm just going to say goodbye to the stream. Thank you for everybody that dropped in, and thank you to anybody that may watch this afterwards. I really hope you enjoy it. If not, well, then stick a elder spoon up your ass, I guess. Yeah, have a lovely day, everybody, evening, and see you all next time. Bye.